Now, see, this is the problem the government has. How long ago has coronavirus been out? About 3 or 4 weeks, right? Right. Most people either know they have it by now or they don't even worry about it, right? That's the problem too. It's not spreading like an outbreak where the whole damn town was populated with, you know, dead within almost 24 hours, right? The 48 hours. That's why. Whatever this thing is spreading slowly, not as quickly as you're pretending it's spreading either. That's called panic at the disco. And panic of social media. No. Now, I'm not saying, okay, don't tell people not to watch out for themselves. I'm not saying don't, practice social distancing, which is 3 to 6 feet, 4 to 6 feet, actually, is fine for that. And if you touch somebody's, if you shake hands, wash your hands after. That's all it means. If you don't. Or use a sanitizer. Make sure there's nothing on the sanitizer, though, too. But that causes a paranoia, and it's mainly attacking elderly people, people maybe with sickle cell or things like that. You're not checking for why they died. You just assume it's coronavirus as well. Underlying health issues means if someone young dies, they might have had something wrong with them in addition to the coronavirus that caused them to die. No. You're just being ignorant. You're playing dumb. No. That's the biggest problem on the planet. No. You play dumb to how the virus originally spread as well, which is from animal to human. And they list a list of animals. One of them is your friendly neighborhood dog. Now, I'm not saying that's really happening now either. You understand, right? But the first sign of it, right, had to do with bird flu, which is H1N1. Quit lying. When you lie, you don't help nobody, not even yourself. And you're rushing about like chickens with your head cut off, right? Over a mild 2 week virus, right? That is similar to the flu. You get a fever, a cough, and runny nose with the flu too. And you're making it bigger than it is. And you're basing it on a law that don't exist in the Constitution itself to support the 11th Amendment. See, where there is no crown, there can be no sovereign immunity as well. You mean, why did they put it in the books? To see if your dumbasses would abuse it? Abuse of power, Mr. President, former Vice President Biden. What that means? It means you cannot do something legal against the Constitution, period. Either one of you. You can't quid pro quo them, and Hunter can't make money with the Ukrainians because they're a foreign government. And you were in office. That's what that means. And I'm schizophrenic and I know better. Right? What is wrong with you? You're abusing your powers. Both of you fucked up. Exactly. And you're not man enough to admit it. That's why Hunter's still in trouble, Biden. You were in office. You're not supposed to do that either. Your family cannot profit from you being in office while you're in office. Right. That's what he did. That's what you did. Bottom line. Because the Constitution says so. See, Democrats and Republicans are both fucked up. They even let Bill get away with molesting Monica in the office of the President of the United States. Which, so what if she's over 18? It's abuse of power. It's abuse of power. Now, Saddam can do that because he's a dictator, like SNL pointed out, Bill. But you're a married man with a wife and a daughter. That's a bad example for a bad president, Mr. Clinton. I don't care if Kennedy did it with Marilyn Monroe or not either. That would be abuse of power. He's married to Jackie Earth. You don't get it, do you? That's a mock law. You do know what mockery is to King George III, right? It means, simply put, no one in office can abuse the office either. And again, there are 5,967 cases in Georgia, and 198 have died, right? But they're the elderly mainly, right? Yet less are in South Carolina. There's not an airport in Atlanta that's kind of the hub, right? But not one in South Carolina, right? But South Carolina is freaking out more than Georgia is, even though we got more cases. Why is that, South Carolina? Paranoia. But have you seen outbreak and how fast that virus spread versus this virus? It's spreading slowly. 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 Not quickly. You're not infecting 1 million people in a day. You're not even infecting a few thousand in a day. Comparatively, that's a small number. It ain't even 0.01%. Marginally. And if you combine the deaths from the virus, yeah, it's killing mainly certain people. It's a target virus, right? It targets respiratory systems, right? And people with respiratory problems. Obviously, I'm not one of them, but either. But evil people wish evil upon people, and that's why Jesus says, wish them well. Which is worse if someone hates you wishing them well? They hate you more. They can't get on your nerves. It's better that way, ain't it? Just ignore them, tell them they're full of shit, and walk on. You can do that too. You can be mildly rude because they're being rude to you first, but they have to start it. By calling me a pedophile, whoever started this shit on YouTube started it, right? No one ever called me a pedophile until them. Until them either. Right. Unless they called me that on base, right? Which is the only place someone could call me that. Daphne didn't call me a pedophile ever until this shit, right? And she didn't find out about it officially until 2008. And then I'm talking to Molly Z and all that by then. See, I'm trying to move on from whatever the fuck was going on with me and Daphne. Anyway, you're not. Me and Daphne probably moved on from all that shit. You're not. And you're drawing her daughter back into it, right? Because you could be interfering with her dating life. I don't know. I hope not. Of course, that too, right? All I know is she has a lighter skinned child, and that's a female. And I want to make sure she's not my daughter too, right? Something weird didn't happen, or now, if she is, I need to know that too, though, because I don't know how that happened, but it would have to involve, manipulation and attempted murder to not know something like that is happening. Sure, and one's a crime. No. Also, now here's what I'm saying though to them. Jesus can heal me exactly as Wolverine if he needs to, you understand, right? How fast he heals, right? Or faster? Right. You're worried about the eye again? Because you're right, it has been giving me problems off and on, but yesterday it was real bloodshot for some reason. And all I did was eat, my normal food, right? At a certain pace. I didn't eat it all at once either. But again, it was normal for me. I'm still around the same weight. I'm between 324 to 328 right now. And I toggle when I eat, and I go back down by morning, right? Exactly. But the eye's been giving me problems, and coronavirus don't last that long. It only lasts about 2 weeks. And I've been doing the whistle voice since then, too, right? About 2018, too, right? And the first one to really teach me was Justin anyway, right? He taught me how to access it, right? And that technique so far is working. I'm not worried about doing it on the exhale yet. Reason why is I got to get you used to doing it on the inhale first, right? That might take you a couple of years, maybe 3 to 4 to 5 years. I don't know. And see, you would have a problem with it anyway, not me. And you don't like me doing it either way. Though you hear me doing it in hell at least, right? Right. And it don't sound really any different for that. Right.
And when people should wear masks in public. Melissa, here's a live look from our Skyview 22 camera, looking at the Chatham.
So this is WJCL 22, quote unquote, quote.
Are very nice. We're in the upper 50s. We have a light breeze. Now that wind, it's going to stay light today.
Now this is just what? Current events. It's covered under the Constitution as well. I'm doing the kind of a news report through a news station to show I'm here, right? It's also proof of life.
To honor first responders and the people who've died from coronavirus. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Now, no one wants people to die of anything, but we do too, right? Right. And some people just feel it's their time and the coronavirus pushed them over the edge and they died, right? You understand how something that works too, right? Some people feel it's about their time anyway, and then they get the virus and they say, well, fuck it, I'm dead. And they die. You don't get it that simple. The power of life and death is in your tongue anyway, right? That's what you don't understand. That's why I'm still around if they're trying to even shoot me. I say Jesus can heal me like Wolverine, right? If they try to assassinate me. See, I'm not important enough for you to assassinate yet. And I'm not in Jerusalem yet, so I gotta get to Jerusalem if I'm one of the two or not, right? I'm a Christian witness too, right? I can use just that alone, like Pastor Thomas said, right? And still be saved by grace through faith, don't forget, cease means your best. But I also could be the male child from chapter 12. Is that what you were trying to say without telling me directly? Right? You're not one of the two witnesses only, right? Well, that involves a little bit more detail than what you said, right? And you can't handle I'm the male child, right? You know that's Jesus, right? Well, it's anyone Jesus wants to show the throne to as well. You're not considering that possibility, huh? That's all I'm seeing it as. Jesus just showed me the throne of God in heaven and kind of made me a throne, right? Which is a type of angel as well. Thrones stand before the throne, right? Not the other angels don't either, huh? Right? Or are they different distance because of the number? That don't mean anything. Now, of course, if you got a crowd in front of the throne, right? Any throne, they're gonna all see the throne, right? Two. So, or you're being ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. Ridiculous. And they give you a narcissistic attitude and rock anyway, or pop anyway. They make you think only you can sing a song, which is stupid, right? And what that means is they're trying to use copyright law against copyright law. They're negating fair use as well, which you can't do with copyright law. See, that has to do with the first 4 articles of the Constitution, why you get fair use with it too, right? That's for the poor, the people who can't afford to copyright things, so they can sing the song too. It's really simple as that. Now, maybe they can't do all your material, right? But mainly the popular songs everybody can sing while you're putting it out there. See, when you put it out free, it means anyone can use it. And you forget the law of free speech, right? And what that means, right? You're putting the song on the radio for free, right? Well, it's free to the public. That makes it public domain. How? You're letting everybody listen to it and they gotta pay for it. And the way they get paid for it is through commercials on the radio station, right? People buy into all that, right? Right? That's how TV sells. That's how, right? And again, that's why some TV stations can be free. They have commercials. See, anything with commercials is really supposed to be free anyway to the public. You're supposed to be making your money through that. You forget all the rules you set up sometimes too, or want to make different rules or change the rules when they were good rules to begin with, and they're to help the poor, not the rich. You got what you need, but you got to help the poor in their state to get off out of being poor too. Are you doing that? No, no. You want to keep the poor poor and the rich rich sometimes too. Do you think Jesus meant it when he said give the talent of the person who buried their talent to someone else, or was he being sarcastic? Right. See, if you take that which someone has and they tried to save it for you a different way, does that make you any better? No, no. You're just as tyrannical as Satan there too, right? You let them keep the talent as you let the one keep the 10. Ain't that better? Mm-hmm. That's forgiveness also, Peter. But that's the point. You want to take the one talent the person saved for you by burying it, right? And act like that ain't a good thing to bury it, and at least here's your own talent, right? But see, he talks about the bank, though. Who set up the banking system anyway? Man, right? Well, at least he gave the Lord back his own talent, right? Better than nothing, huh? Right? He could have lost it. And then he wouldn't have that even that talent, right? See, there's sarcasm sometimes in the message of Jesus. But then you got the Samaritan, right? Where the person paid for his debt, right? And covered the debt. So you don't know when Jesus is being sarcastic or literal, and it is just a story, right? Sometimes he's making up. Here it is.
Into humans late last year is being questioned. A recent study in Nature Medicine magazine says the leap may have happened months or years ago.
See?
And then the virus circulated less lethally in humans.
Less lethally.
To be more infectious to them.
Right.
Before becoming the monster it is now.
Right. That's what I'm saying too. Well, I read 1960 is when the first case started spreading from human to animal. That's on the internet on WikiLeaks. They're not looking into that, are they? They know more than WikiLeaks. Even though it's an encyclopedia. Oh no. That's vanity. That's vanity.
Telling you how to wash your hands.
The water doesn't need to be that hot. And most any soap will
I did that too. I'm just not a star like Kate. That's called favoritism. You favorite Kate to tell somebody something, but you're lying about it too. It can even spread through your dog. Didn't say nothing about your cat, but did say canines can spread it to you. And it's not as bad there either. It's morphine, or what they call adapting, right? Or evolving, right? 4 to 6. 4 to 6. It's fine, right? So you gotta make contact with the person too, right? 4 to 6 is fine, right? That's social distancing too, right? It's really 4 to 6 feet. You can be within 4 to 5 feet of each other, even 3 as long as you don't touch, right? That's the whole point. Don't touch each other until the virus clears. Now, if you don't have the virus, only way you gotta worry about it is if someone around you does. That's panic too. You might not even have the virus and you can't be around people, right? That's paranoia too. It's a mindset that paranoia causes, right? Oh, I can't touch anyone. Too much of it, you're like Howie. Not enough of it, and you're like me, but I don't have it, right? Either. And I'm not worried about getting it in Savannah, right? Or Port Whitworth, or Lincoln, right? Which is where I would go anyway. I know. But I'm commenting on it. I'm critiquing it. I'm agreeing and disagreeing. That makes it what? My own news report. I know it does. And it's going on live. And I'm putting in information you didn't research yet, right? You don't want to deal with it if it came from a dog or a cat or your own pets. But it would be the lesser strain. See, like an outbreak, the virus started by contact, right? Then it went airborne. Now, the only way it can be airborne is if you cough and, again, get the stuff into your lungs, right? But it still has to make contact with your body, right? See? Because they were talking about people getting it in the choir. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure they didn't touch while they were in the choir. Yeah, no. Right. Which do you think really spread it? But paranoia don't help nobody. Overboard. That's what Sheena thought I was doing with her, and I don't know what she's talking about. I just sent her what I had, which was Bible studies, right? And things like that, and talked about my life in Georgia, right? And asked if she wanted to get married or not, and was trying to be romantic and suggested Jerusalem. I don't know if that was the problem. I don't know if she didn't want to be tied down. I don't even know that she didn't get pregnant and just didn't want me to die. I don't know that either. Or if she got pregnant, she was so pissed off of me, she aborted it. I don't know. Right? Though that would be different on the ship. She would have to throw herself down a flight of stairs or something there. And that's the point. Whatever she's doing, she's making it up as she goes along too. I don't know why she did all that. She ain't telling me why. Like I know why when I don't. Right? That's why I'm asking about typed letters. That's the only thing my shipmates could have done that I wouldn't be aware of and can't prove I didn't do it either. So I'm asking about it. Because I don't know they wrote her typed letters or not either, and I didn't. I only wrote her handwritten letters. Why would I write you handwritten letters? Maybe send you a card back because you sent me a couple cards and wrote me yourself. People who are dating usually write handwritten letters anyway, don't they? They don't get all technical and use a damn typewriter in the middle of it or shortly after they start writing you, do they? No. That would be more of someone trying to sabotage the relationship, especially if they're saying evil things about the girl and the guy in the letters as if they're mean, as if they're you, when they're not mean. But they've been sabotaging me the whole time. Even on the job, they're sabotaging me. That's what sabotage is. And they're sabotaging me because I keep telling them no to something they're wanting to do to me. It don't matter if it's just me either, no. I still tell them no. And that's quid pro quo too. No, it is. And see, whoever's on about this, it could have to do with Edward John Thomas. Do you know him, Mary Bell? No. It could be you. No. Is it you, Mary Bell? Are you a bad ex-girlfriend who can't get over the possibility that your boyfriend got you pregnant somehow, right? Which is what I'm warning you of. When we break up, you might get pregnant because you're acting all crazy and you're around two men. Another way it can happen is what? He sabotaged your birth control pills. And he ain't gonna tell you because you lied to him about fucking me and that's how you got pregnant. Get it? I know. And he also sabotaged your relationship with Scott. One of you figured it out, Mary Bell. If it wasn't you, it was Scott. Come on. And I don't know if you were with him on the third or not, if you're lying about that too, but something's off here. You're hiding something. You're lying about something. And you're denying the 2-week beginning period where the baby ain't even announced yet, right? It's below that weight. That's why the first 2 weeks don't count. And I know you're hiding something. You're lying about something here. Because you don't know how it happened. You don't want to deal with it if he's lying, right? Sounds like that too, right? You're also using a disability to say I couldn't get you pregnant when I can't tell you yes or no, but I do have a sperm count, even slow or not, right? And see, I hadn't had sex in the 2 days before we had sex either. That's enough to build up the count a little bit. And all it takes is one to make it through. They don't all go through anyway, whether it's 100,000 or 1 million. The days one. No. Viable sperm. And I got Daphne pregnant the first day we had sex, obviously, right? Because Jonathan came 9 months, 4 days later. Patrick came 8 months later. I know. It was 4 pounds 9 ounces according to the pregnancy chart too, right? That's all you can go by if that's all you tell me too, right? Not to prove it to you or disprove it to you. It's just how the pregnancy chart said it would develop. Normally. Not abnormal either, which would be with Scott if he were with him in December as well. That'd be super growth hormone quadrupled, right? Because he was almost double the weight he should have been. Actually, he's twice as large if you met him in December and not October, right? Though if it was October, I would understand why you were a little confused, right? The first 2 weeks confused you. Do you understand that too, though? See, I'm not trying to trick you, but I'm trying to get us both to face the truth of whatever the fuck happened, right? And why it happened too. Ain't just cheating on you with Michelle. Ain't just a little bit lower estrogen in the birth control pills. You could have been sabotaged by Steven to make sure we wasn't having sex. And then he also sabotaged your relationship with Scott, not me. Not me either. Right. See, that's reality. What really happened versus what we both are trying to figure out happened by imagination. Both are lies until the truth comes out. But when the truth comes out, you know the truth. Then all. And it won't change it, no matter what happened either. But if you're with him in December, it's definitely not. By October, you could be easily confused, but you're not counting the first 2 weeks, right? Where he's underannounced. That counts too. That puts the conception at 3 days after you were with me. Till the very day we were together, right? By the way, too. It's 14 to 12, right? And like Daphne, if I got you pregnant within the first 3 days, that's possible. Usually, how long was Jesus in the tomb? 3 days, right? And sperm normally lasts 3 days. Let's just put it that way. And that's enough. That's enough. Now, I just care about you. If you moved on, I'm trying to move on too, but I ain't met nobody because all this business on YouTube probably too. And you're making me paranoid people know about it, and I'm a little apprehensive about meeting you people. Male or female. And I tend to stay to myself for a reason, right? Though we all pick our boogers. We all have the same problems. We all have the same issues, right? Quit lying you don't. Quit being disgusted with yourself. Quit trying to make me disgusted with myself. Because my hairline's a little unusual. Don't mean I'm going bald either. That's all it is. And it's usually when I come to the right, you can see it. Right? You can't see it. And when I come to the left, you can't. Right? That's coming this way to the left and this way to the right. Right? And it's even a little weird in the center. But it's always been that way. Dude, it ain't changed. It ain't changed. And I'm 50. I'm not complaining. You're complaining. I still got here, I think. It ain't working on me, though. All it seems like to me you're doing is losing your own hair over me. And attacking me. And you're seeming mad because you're younger than me. Is it John saying this? My own son. That's fucked up, John. I'll say. If it's you. Or is it someone want me to think it's you? Again, I don't know. It's a guess. Either way. But that's the point. Now we got a different strain of it, right? It's like an outbreak. The strain went airborne. It started out by human contact. And then went airborne. That's the problem. And we notice you're not referencing outbreak. Because it's not as bad as that, is it? No. Accept that too about it. You gotta accept it's not spreading like an outbreak either. You're also causing a panic that way. I know. Well, the reason is I know I'm mentally ill, but do you know you're mentally ill or not too? See, once you know, you can kind of deal with the symptoms and recognize the symptoms. If you know the symptoms by reading into it and you were 23 when it happened, right? And we're fine until then. Didn't complain of hearing voices. Complained of the sleep problem from the car wreck, maybe. But not hearing voices until when? 93. That's why it's service connected. It's stress from the shipmates and Sheena, right? Whatever they're doing to her, or vice versa, she's doing to me, and cause of them, right? And maybe her own shipmates. See, that's not blaming it. It's putting it in proper perspective, Sheena. Someone might have wrote you in my name, but it wasn't me, I know. And you can't prove it with a typed letter. That's why. But if it's all neat and tidy and there ain't no mistakes, it wasn't me. I still make typos because I'm a human male, but born raised in the 80s and 90s, right? And guess what? I didn't do well in typing class like most males. Especially if it's on a typewriter. Paperback writer, this is a typewriter. Right? I can't type well. And I'm not faking it. See, that's the problem too. And if Captain Carey believed them and set all that shit up, with Daphne too, right? I still didn't do what you think I'm doing. No. But see, that's the point. You admit your own mistakes sometimes too. We all make mistakes. But when you deny you made the mistake as well, you make it worse for us all. And if it was based upon the letters, it was the shipmates telling you how they felt about me, and try to break me and Sheena up. Not even sure she was a real person either. They might even call her a man, pretend to be a woman. I don't know. I know they would at least say that, though. See, again, Sheena is associated with a movie like The Name Chain, all right? And I'm guessing. I don't know all the details. I didn't write those letters to her. They were typed. I don't know. But that comes from being the Kings and their two minds put together, probably. You've seen the movies when someone's a plagiarist. They're trying to get into my head and think how they think I think, or should be thinking, or how they want me to think. That too. Towards women. If I really thought that way, Sheena, I didn't, suck your boobs. Right? I didn't try to lick you downstairs. Right. That's because I'm a full service type guy. You know what that means. I don't just stick it in and wiggle it about and pull it out. In other words, I do use foreplay techniques. Right? A man who's doing that with you likes the female body, by the way. Doesn't have a problem with any part of it at all. Especially the vagina. See, some guys have a problem with the vagina. And it's chicken